Go ahead, Patty. Just restate the issue without names.
So I'd like to request a waiver for an individual that already has a CNA to come in and be part of the elderly services program as a home health care worker for her relative. So that's
Thank
my
you.
request today.
Thank you, Patty. Motion by Martin to approve the waiver of the background investigation for this particular case. Second by Martin, or second by Len. Any further discussion? Go ahead, Mike.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. In the past, we've always only made this waiver for family members. I'd like that to be in the motion.
I'm fine with that.
Okay. We'll add the family member to the motion.
In the past, that's when we've made this waiver, is when it was a family member that we would waive the background check.
Okay. Okay, so it's a CNA and a family member. That helps the justification for the waiver of the background check as part of the motion. Any further discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor, show of hands. Being abstains, motion passes. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, we would like to rearrange the agenda just real quickly since we have travelers. So we will ask our Native Voices representatives to come up first, if they're here. Great. No. Native Voice, come on up to the table, please. Oh, you traveled a long way, so we want to. Welcome.
One more. Oh, he's coming. Okay. Well, thank you guys for meeting with us. We just wanted to give an update of our efforts for this coming election. Right now we are in the primary. But we did hire a community organizer, and it's Mary LaForge here. I just wanted to introduce you guys to her. And we'll be working with your Get Out the Vote efforts as well. We already had a meeting, I believe they're called Red Mountain. Are you guys working with them?
May I ask each one of your names, please?
Oh, apologies. I'm sorry. My name is Ronnie Johorse, and I'm the Executive Director of Western Native Voice.
And I'm Tracy Garfield. I'm the Communications Director for Western Native Voice.
I'm Rhiannon Nez. I'm the intern.
Thank you.
So we have Mary LaForge in the area. She'll be covering the counties here, and then we have O'Shea Birding Ground, who will come out of Missoula to help with that county. So we have two people covering the area. And just mentioning before, we are going to work with your team for our Get Out the Vote efforts. In a few weeks, we'll actually be like knocking on doors, making sure people are registered to vote, throwing membership events. We hope to spend a few days in the community to get this done, and volunteer training. And we recently hired a youth program manager, so we're hoping to get our youth program up with our first meeting being in November. And we will provide scholarships for that for the youth to attend along with their guardian. Do you want to give your update?
Sure.
Yeah.
Again, my name is Tracy. In November, 2nd, 3rd, and 4th, we're going to be holding a membership meeting for our Western Native Voice membership. We have over almost up to 12,000 members already in the state and the nation. We're continually holding membership drives on Facebook, social media. We're going to be starting to run YouTube ads to get out the vote. We're currently running a lot of ads on Facebook and Instagram. So if you see them, be sure and like and comment. And we're trying to use local people and local faces in all of our ads to, especially influencers in each area and stuff like that. So we were busy in our time out in the lobby doing TikToks with some people out there saying how important it is to get out the vote. So if any of you want to volunteer, we'll sure take you aside and get you to say a few things for us. But our membership event is going to be held in Billings, like I said, and we're going to have breakout sessions. We're also going to provide scholarships for people if they want to attend for our members, like room and board, mileage and whatnot. And during that time, we'll be educating, holding different sessions on why it's important to vote, the history of the Native vote, as well as maybe inviting some speakers to attend. Our intern is also going to be working on a project, holding a virtual like Zoom meeting. Maybe she could talk a little bit about that, but we're just trying so many different ways to get our youth involved right now. And she's on the campuses getting people to say why they vote, how important it is to vote, and vote like your life depends on it, because it does, is our slogan for this session or for this election. Let's see what else. Oh, we're also creating huge events, trying to, one of our strategic plans for the next 5 years is to start creating big events for natives all in Montana. A couple of things we did last week, we created a communications cohort for Native Americans. We had our first meeting in Billings and we hope to expand to Montana. So in that, we're gathering all the people that are doing marketing and public relations for Native communities. And we're going to start training and sharing resources. Like when I create a piece of marketing material, it's hard to find Native people like online in the photos, you know, all the where you can purchase photos. So we're going to start sharing all of those resources with each other and how to talk to the press, how to create different pieces that will get, how to market your events, all of that kind of stuff. So, and then, so one of our big events is in July during the Big Sky Games in Billings. We're calling it Big Sky IndigiFest. We have some local comedians, Superman's one of them. He's going to be one of the main ones. We also have 3 other comedians that offered to be there. We're going to be holding, we have 50 vendors for artists and service organizations. We'll also, everything will be online pretty soon. So if any organizations want to come to that or be a vendor, we're also having a live stage there that will be open from 9 to 5, where Indigenous artists can get up and sing, dance, drum, whatever they wanted to do. So that'll go on all day long, and especially promote family during that time. And then, let's see, and then ending that evening with a comedy show. So it's the comedians are so excited because of the pandemic. You know, they haven't been able to have a live audience, so they're pretty excited to be able to put this show on in Montana.
So when is the date again and the exact location?
It's at the Doubletree Hilton in Billings, and it's the 5th, I believe the 5th, July 15th and 16th. Friday night will be a kickoff. We have a small style show, fashion show, and then it'll be ending with a local Native band called Counting Coup. That'll kick off the event. That'll be a small ticketed event. And then the big show will be all day long Saturday. And we hope to grow it into a big outdoor event, like premier event. Like the South has these events and we wanted to have something up north here. So we're very busy. But Rhiannon, do you want to talk about your project?
Yeah, so I was thinking about for my project was to talk about how like it's important for individuals to get into politics, and you don't always have to be in a like have actual like experience in politics. So I was gonna bring individuals on through like Zoom to talk about how they got into politics and how it's important that we have people who aren't like lawyers or have direct experience in that said field, and to how like it's important to have every like people from outside, like medical, like doctor, like medical, and then sociologists, psychologists, and bring outside field workers into politics. So I think that's gonna happen probably at the end of July. I haven't really looked into like more of the dates and stuff, but we'll make sure to get out information once I have direct plans.
Maybe one thing will be on your show.
And if any of you would like to be on my little show, I'll give you my email.
There's another thing to mention with the primary, we did lose election day voter registration. So election day is on June 7th. But since we lost that day, we have to register, our people have to register in person now. And then they have until June 6th at noon to meet that deadline for the primary. But we hope to roll out our efforts more for the general. I know the last time we gave our update, we were planning to place a kiosk, an online voter registration kiosk here in the lobby. So that's something that we hope to have an event around, just so people know it's here. And sign up more members that way to get people excited to register to vote. I know it's not the very exciting topic, but we're trying to make it be. So I guess that's the last update that I have.
Mr. Chairman.
Go ahead, Len.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, members of the council, and ladies, thank you. And I want to thank Western Native Voice. I just want to acknowledge that Western Native Voice in the past has been very instrumental in making sure that the Indian vote is heard. I've watched Western Native Voice working in the election realm, and you girls are just incredible. And I just want to acknowledge that and thank you for the hard work that you've done and continue to do. And thank you for being here today.
Thank you.
Indeed, I have one question. Do you encourage people to request absentee ballots?
Yes, we do. So in 2020, a lot of the counties did have a mail-in ballot, most of them. But this year, it kind of reverted back to the old way, which there is not a lot of communication on. So a lot of people are waiting still on their ballots to come in the mail when they should be registering or voting in person, because that's what they did in the previous election before 2020.
Go ahead, Len.
One other piece of information, we just want to also let you know that in our collaboration with the Native American Rights Fund, we have also creating some satellite offices here on the reservation. One will be up in Grey Wolf and one would be in Elmo. And that's going to be for the sole purpose of getting people registered to vote. So just an FYI, I'm not sure if you're aware of that or not.
So we currently right now on all of our social media, we've just been blasting it everywhere. All the locations of the satellite offices around the state of Montana. And we're also trying to have our organizers hold events at those satellite offices when they are open, so that we're, like have a Facebook Live, say, hey, I'm standing here, everybody come down, trying to get people motivated to do that. One of the other things, I don't know, did you mention about enrollment? Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Go ahead, Carol.
Yeah, wanted to ask Ms. LaForge, what is your plans coming up for the reservation?
She's just still onboarding.
Oh.
So we plan just to go community to community door knocking.
Okay, also, I would like to ask you if, I don't know when Two Eagles' last day is, but if you could get over there and talk to the students that are of age to vote, to do so there. And I know SKC always has a lot of things going on when it comes to voting. And so you might want to kind of collaborate with them to see what they got going and just add on to that process. But yeah, I used to do this a long time ago. Door to door is hard, but it needs to be done. And then, like you said, the absentee is definitely something that we should be on top of, and there should be news, something in the news, maybe somebody interviewed about voting and trying to get that stuff done right away, because the sooner the better. And billboards are good too.
Thank you, Carol.
Yeah, so we go off the van. So we have lists that we have that will be going door to door. The van's not perfect. It has a really difficult time finding Native Americans in Montana. So we're currently working on a project where we're collecting surnames and locations of those surnames, just so the van can easily identify them. It's been a long process, but it's something that we're working on. And we're, I guess, all trying to gear up for the 2024 election. And so this, we're hoping to try all of our new efforts this year to perfect them for 2024. This year is a midterm election. See, in 2018, for CSKT, they had 6,690 registered voters with 4,527 votes cast, which is a 68% turnout, which is pretty good for a midterm election. We have a larger turnout during presidential elections. In 2020, you guys had 7,171 registered voters with 5,520 votes cast, which is 77%. We hope to surpass that, try to. But did you have anything?
I just wanted to mention too that we had just come back from a conference and they had talked again about, I know we mentioned this the last time we were visiting, is some of the tribes are doing automatic voter registration when people turn 18. Some tribes are, some southern tribes, I'm not sure which ones they are. We could probably find out, but I know that we had brought this discussion up before, that we are looking for a tribe to be the first in Montana to do that. So that's something to think about. Or even having your voter registration forms in your enrollment office, so that if somebody gets a new ID, say, hey, would you like to fill out this voter registration form, and training your staff to do that. So like every contact that's made with a tribal member, I think that would really get a lot of voter registrations out there.
Go ahead, Carol.
One other comment, I'm sorry. We have 2 celebrations going on this year too, and then we have some high school graduations, but it'd be nice to have you set up a booth at those celebrations and then maybe hand out cards. Cars coming in all the time, constantly, and if you can get that word out there to absentee vote or give them a card. I don't know if it's universal for the state of Montana, the card is, I don't know, for absentee, or is it county by county? Do you know? I don't know. Anyway, I would check into that. And
I think it's a general application
yeah,
or
if it
card,
is,
but what we're doing too is we're very about digital. So because the problem that we've had is getting people to actually sign up and register to vote is we can't read the handwriting when we get back to the office. So now we have a QR code. They can scan it and stand there and type it right in front of us. We can view it and look at it, and then they hit send and it's done. That way we don't have paperwork flying all over the place. So we're trying to find better and easier ways to do it. And that's one of the ways that we hope to do. So, and then the other thing we're doing, I don't know if you mentioned, but we're also doing a volunteer program. And before we just like grab people and send them out there, But we're trying to establish a really good group of people for each community that we can count on every election. So we don't have to do this over and over and train them really well. So we'll also, when we're in the community, we're also going to be holding those volunteer trainings at the same time and get people trained to do this kind of work so that it's done correctly. Any more questions?
No, I really appreciate your work. And as I echo what Len said, so thank you. Mary, you got a lot of work ahead of you. We have events this year, as Carol said, so both powwows are going. And thank you. It's very important, your work. And Native voices need to be heard and need to exercise their right to vote. So very important. It is very critical. It's a new day and we have a great future ahead. So thank you for your work.
Thank you.
Great, thank you for your time. And there's shirts here for you guys.
Ooh. Lemleps. Okay, next we have Ruth and Greg. Thank you for being patient.
If I can add some context to what was just happening here, I was texting Shane Morgeau in the background. So the executive staff has delegated Shane Morgeau to be the liaison with Native Voices so that he's aware of. I'll have him read in the notes and the minutes from the meeting today so that he can engage with you and with that group going forward.
Thank you, Greg.
Morning, it's still morning, right? Our first request is to seek approval of capital project that Head Start will undertake. They're going to do some roof replacement at the Arlie and Pablo centers. They went through the procurement process, solicited estimates, and they will award to 2 Indian preference contractors. So your approval is needed.
Any questions for Ruth on this particular item? Seems pretty simple. Motion by Len to approve the construction project to move forward with replacing the roofs at the Arlie Head Start and Pablo Head Start buildings. Seconded by Jennifer. Any further discussions? See none, all those in favor?
Okay.
Martin, did you vote, Martin? Can't see your. I believe it's unanimous. Unanimous.
Okay, page 8, then moving on to your total allocations. We're doing a modification to the total allocations. This will be, it says modification 6, it's supposed to be modification 7. My apologies for that error on the agenda request. Total allocations then beginning on page 9. There's also going to be a correction to this resolution, which I've already forwarded to Abby. In the column for dedicated trust in the general fund, we are approving the addition of the increase to the powwows. So that will be the same budget total on the far right at the bottom, but you'll see we'll have a correcting entry made on general fund where we're going to decrease in per capita and then do the increase in dedicated trust for the powwows. Same budget total, same increase of 6,868,77. New revised total will be 245,665,858.
Any questions for the resolution approving budget modification 7?
Motion, Mr. Chair, to approve
Motion
the
by,
resolution.
motion by Anita to approve the resolution approving budget modification 7 to fiscal year 2022 total budget allocation for the general fund, dedicated trust, compacts, contracts and grants, water compact, and settlement funds. Seconded by Mike. Any further discussions? Seeing none, all those in favor, show of hands. Unanimous. Thank you, Ruth.
Okay. And being mindful of your schedule that got rather compressed, the 10-page financial report, we can either just let that be shelved for your reference, and if you have any questions, or if you'd like us to come back and present it in more detail.
Any preference for council?
I would prefer they come back and explain it to us in detail.
Okay,
I would think,
Make a new request.
yeah.
okay. We
We're
can
happy
do
to do
that. I
that.
have one question on the photo. Is that quill shawl that she has on?
Excuse?
The photo on your cover?
No, that's a dentilium, that little tusk
Okay,
shell that
yes,
they,
yes.
yeah. Quite interesting to work with. A beautiful photo. No, that's her, it's like a cape on her
It's a-
dress.
It's a cape?
She's got some cones on there, but I thought that was one of the coolest pictures I'd ever seen
Yeah.
because of the historic presence of the Jocko.
Yeah,
So you know, we always want to feed in little, I like to do that. So remember how it was, we hope to get back to that. So we will, maybe not in my lifetime.
it's the future. It's
Yeah.
good.
Thank you. That's everything.
That's everything? Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Oh, that's mine.
Mr. Chair?
Yes, go ahead, Jen.
We have a young lady in here. She was here for Amanda's group permit. She's showed up, so she's here for her request.
Still have three other executive item things. So unless we already covered them. Martin had one, Anita had one, and Carol had an item. Tamara, come on up. I think Jim's done. Go ahead.
My name's Tamara. I'm requesting a permit for 80 guests for a wedding up at Mission Dam. I talked to Amanda Bordeaux about all this and she gave me a list of things that I should go over with you guys. It's gonna be on July 9th if it gets approved. And we would only be up there from 12 in the afternoon until like 1:30. So it wouldn't be too long up there. It's just the ceremony. We have already bought in extra trash cans. We have carpooling, so we wouldn't be taking up too much space up there. Over by the picnic tables is where we would want to have it. I feel like that's the easiest place and we would still allow other people to be up there. And we would not be using the bathrooms, just so that wouldn't be a problem later on, because she told me that you guys are having a little bit of problems of pumping all the toilets out, so figured just get that out of the way. We might be having a tent up there just because if it rains or if something happens. We're not 100% on that one yet. And we would have all of our own supplies, and I could do from $300 to $400 for everything. If you guys would approve that, that's pretty much what I can afford at the moment. Yeah.
Thank you, Tamara. So the group permit, what allows you to do is that those people that might not be tribal members that don't already have a rec permit, it would be a lump for them to be on the land, would give them that trespass permit. And so that's kind of the estimate that you would want to look at would be how many of those might be in your group. If they already have a rec permit, then they wouldn't be counted in that fee schedule.
Okay,
So if they're locals, they probably, a lot of them may have their rec permit if you have a lot of non-members. But yeah, the other things, it looks like you have it covered. It's a very short duration. It's a high use area. It's on a Saturday, middle of the day. So if you take care of your own sanitation and litter, et cetera. And of course you play by the weather.
yeah,
See what the weather's at, on putting up a tent, that's low impact. And carpooling up there, that would be critical,
mhm,
especially considerate of other recreationists that might be in the area. And it could very well be that you're very well within your budget if you work with Amanda on the number of people that
yeah,
you estimate that would already not have a rec permit.
okay. Cause I only have 80 guests. 12 of them do have those since they live here.
Mhm.
The rest of them are from different tribes or from a different state, but a lot of them are willing to buy those recreation things if they live here. But the majority of them are coming from Washington or Arizona, so I figured this would be my best bet to come in and ask you guys on how I should go about doing all the permits and
Well,
stuff.
so the recommendation would be you want to prorate that because they're only going to be there for 2 hours.
Mhm.
So it's a very limited prorate. So again, we would strongly, at least in the past, we've gone with the recommendation from the permit office,
Okay,
and that would be Amanda.
okay,
So she could finalize that. And if that's the concurrence of council, that's the way we could work with it.
okay.
So I would entertain a motion to approve Tamara's request. Motion by Len, second by Bing. Any further discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor, show of hands. I think, Martin, are you voting? Oh, unanimous. Who's getting married?
I am,
Wow, congratulations.
thank you.
I missed that.
Oh, yeah,
Well, congratulations and good luck.
thank you guys.
Good job.
Thank you. I was nervous.
Oh, yeah, no problem.
Congratulations.
Okay. Jim. Well, cool. Well, thank you. Oh, you guys are in top shape, I could tell you. You know, not like a couple of ex and old council members themselves passing out stuff. Quite often, the different schools will send thank you cards that to the staff of NRD and other departments that participate in the annual river honoring. And usually it's really, really good for the third graders, do a lot of it. Fourth graders sometimes. Yeah. Oh my goodness. Oh.
Oh. All right.
Ah, marigolds. Sweet. Martin, there's flowers here, Martin. There's plants.
I'll take anybody's that don't want them, please.
Sorry, Martin, we couldn't quite hear you.
Oh, I'm sorry, I said I'd take anybody's that didn't want them.
Lawrence is kind of shrinking, you know? Thanks, Lawrence. Okay, I think now we can move into executive session again, and we will, we had Anita, Carol, and Martin all